Next, we have the Buffalo Bills, led by, of course, Josh Allen, newly affianced Josh Allen. Congratulations, Haley Steinfeld, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Negative 12 million in cap space, but tell us how that can get much better very quickly.
Yeah, so obviously starting off negative 12, you look for these aging players with injury histories, and they have two guys that are just kind of glaring injury history guys that have been pillars before, but not anymore. So you cut Von Miller post June 1st, you save 17.4. You cut Matt Milano, back-to-back years of big injuries. I think he's 33 years old. I think it's his time. That saves you 9.6. That gives you $27 million. That puts him right back in the batter's box for like free agents. So I think, look, Matt Milano's a great.
Not to mention, I'll just say real quick, cap space going up about 25 million.
Yeah, just Milano has 2 years of major injuries, and where you have young guys like Bernard and Williams there at linebacker, so you can already see what it could be. So I think this time you just turn the page. This is a team that let Micah Hyde go and Poyer in the same year. So this is not a heartless team. This is just a business. I think in the business of football, Milano and Von Miller are kind of guys that get cut. He gained $27 million in cap space and tried to start over a little bit. With that being said, kicking off here, I put this guy on every team because he's like a veteran safety that won't cost you a lot of money. Justin Simmons there. Obviously, last year, Damar Hamlin, superstar Damar Hamlin, comeback player of the year candidate every year. Damar Hamlin, he's gone. Taylor Rapp was out most of last year. So I think you start just throwing assets at this safety room that's cheap and also not like completely washed. I think Simmons is gonna be a lot of teams go-tos because he's gonna be so cheap. Maybe even $2 million to get Justin Simmons. So you go get him, and then you go take a chance on defensive end Chase Young. Look, last year, top 20 in pass rush win rate and pressure on quarterbacks. Had a decent year in New Orleans, and it's kind of a guy where it's kind of like it's a buy low because Chase Young obviously in his prime is a disruptive player. I'm not sure if he's a sack guy. But he's a disruptive player. I think putting him next to Rasu, put him in a rotation. I think that's kind of where he'll fit best. Put him in a new locker room, a new environment. I think that's a nice spot for him. And then cornerback Nate Hobbs. I think in this scenario, I let Douglas go, and Nate Hobbs reminds me a lot of Douglas. He's a playmaker. He plays a little bit nickel. He plays a little bit outside. He's just an underrated player that the Raiders have, and hasn't been shown because he plays for the Raiders. I think Hobbs there. Pair him with Teron Johnson, and then you still have you still have secondary there like Rapp's coming back. Then you have Bernard who had a breakout year last year. I think Hobbs and that will kind of give you a nice young core. And I think it's time to turn the page on this old kind of realm of Bills players. Last year or 2 years ago, Hyde, Poyer gone. This year, Milano, Von Miller gone. Start getting younger there. You're not trying to play. At this point, you're just trying to make pieces go. Whatever pieces will make you work to beat the Chiefs. So I think there's a little bit more of a redo there on the defensive side. And then my big splash trade test deal for them, trade for wide receiver DK Metcalf. I think last year you kind of found out you need alpha. You need someone who you can just rely on third down in the red zone, wherever, where he can just go out there and make a play. And Metcalf is like the AJ Brown guy without having Jalen Hurts as his quarterback. You always think that he could be more, but he doesn't, and because he never had a quarterback like Josh Allen ever. So I think pairing with Josh Allen, who have a career year, he's already had a 1,400 or 1,300-yard season in his career, so he's already he's capable of that. He's a physical freak. I think pair him with Shakir, with Kincaid. I think that they all start to fall into place. I think they put too much on Kincaid last year, and that's why he had a bad year. Shakir's the only guy on that roster. I'm like, put him in. They obviously signed him for a big money deal like yesterday. So put him, Metcalf, Kincaid, Knox, and you have James Cook obviously in the backfield. You've kind of made your pass catching room in 2 years from Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, and whatever running backs you had to Metcalf, James Cook, and Kincaid. And you have these guys. I think this is my offseason view for them is get younger without losing talent, and I think this is the exact way to do it.
Yeah, DK Metcalf to the Bills would shake the NFL at its core, and I'm all for it. I think that'd be awesome. I think he'd play well up there. He seems like a rugged guy, obviously a very physical player, nasty attitude. I think Josh Allen would love him. That's kind of how Josh Allen is as well. He's kind of a big bully type. And yeah, I do think you learned a hard lesson last year. Although I still think it was the right move to move on from Stephon Diggs. It was probably the best move to also replace him. And it also showed that maybe with someone better than like an Amari Cooper. You probably need someone a little better than that. I think DK Metcalf is that guy who can grow for the next couple of years with Josh Allen. The rest of the moves, I like them. I think this is where they're at. It's kind of like you just got to fill holes here and try to beat the Chiefs again. That's kind of what it's all about. We did see the blueprint for beating Mahomes in the playoffs is pressure, pressure, pressure. That's all that matters. Then with the 2 times he's lost in the Super Bowl, or the 2 times where he got absolutely harassed by the Bucs and the Eagles. And so I think restocking the defensive end with Chase Young, losing Von Miller, I think that's an upgrade at this point in their careers. Chase Young did show out last year, and hopefully you see him start to regain. I think best case scenario, he's like a Rashawn Gary type.
Yeah.
And as far as the veteran defensive backs here, I think that's what the Bills are nowadays. Just you got to keep patching it up, keep making it work. Let's talking about your draft pick here.
Yeah, Malachi Starks out of Georgia. You watch him play. I don't want to put this on him because I'm about to compare him to a very, very good All-Pro safety. He reminds me a little bit of Derwin James, where he kind of does a lot. He can play in the box. He can play deep safety. He could play in the nickel. He does a lot of things. Like watch him play. He does he's a sticky tackler. He's better in zone than he is man because he's safety. But I think you could put him in the box. He I think, you know, like I said earlier, losing Hyde, losing Poyer, he needed a little bit throw youth at this safety spot. And I think Malachi Starks is a stud. Hopefully he lasts till 30. If he does, this is a slam dunk pick because Malachi Starks is a very, very good safety. Watch him play. He's literally reminds me of Derwin James, where he plays everywhere. He can play nickel, deep safety, strong safety, is a playmaker, great tackler. Obviously played for Georgia, so played against SEC players.
Isn't he massive as well?
Yeah, he's a very and it's a safety type that the Bills have never had. They've never had this kind of safety where they've had these kind of like, you know, naturally classic safeties like Micah Hyde and Poyer, kind of like, you know, or even Rapp is like a, you know, center fielder can come up. I think Malachi Starks will give them a piece that they never had before, and that's a playmaking safety. No
6'1", 205. So not sorry.
Not big, but like he plays big, and that's why I like him here. He'll give him something that the Bills haven't had is a playmaking safety, like in the box, you know, whatever kind of safety. So I like him here at 30 if he lasts that long. Yeah,
Georgia Bulldog as well, which people are just in on Georgia prospects right now. I like Malachi Stark here. I think there's a lot of teams at the end of the first round that's going to be vying for Malachi Stark. I think I like it's early on, but type of player that you could see some teams get jumped for if he starts to slip, or just taken way earlier than people expect. I love him here to the Bills. I think the Bills would be ecstatic to get him and get some youth in that secondary to go with some of the veteran plug and plays you got here. I like we do with the Bills with very limited room. I think replacing Chase Young with Von Miller is upgrading. I think Matt Milano's replacements are already there, so I'm definitely cool with that. And you add DK to the mix with James Cook had a breakout year last year. Josh Allen had MVP season last year. It's just they're gonna eventually break through.
It's just they're gonna eventually
break through. Yeah. And I'm not pulling the alarm on the Chiefs, but they're gonna lose some pieces.
Mm-hmm. Mega pieces.
They're gonna lose some massive. Nick Bolton is gonna be gone. That's gonna hurt.
Justin Reed might be gone. Trey Smith
gone. Trishawn Wharton's going to be gone. Derek and Nandi's going to be gone.
Yep.
Chris Jones another year older. Like they're starting to lose some pieces here. How much longer is Spags going to go? Like I think it could be. We're going to have to see the Chiefs adapt here. We're going to have to see them adapt. We're going to have to see them progress, and there could be a door open. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and then this is and as the Chiefs get older, the Bills in this scenario get a lot younger and more explosive on both sides of the ball. Yeah, this is where you're trying to just different chess different chess strategies here. Like, what if I move this guy first and this guy just to beat the
Yeah.
Chiefs? And it's all about the Chiefs. Just beating the Chiefs again, get to the Super Bowl and see what happens.